Okay. Yeah. Hit me.
You want it?
And how? Wow. Up. Thank you and good night. So, okay, that was a piece of mine. I'm running the baby through a fuzz here, and although it's humming like a, shouldn't be humming that much, but it is. So that stuff is usually, so let's pretend that's not there for the moment. And I really digging the way, like, you know, you see a guy playing I used to be a guitar player after I was a piano player, like blues and stuff, and I like bending notes, you know, before I was a theremin player. And so this kind of sort of guitaristic approach is not foreign to me. But the thing about using your pinky, like Jeff Beck or somebody like that would do, to let's get rid of this actually for a second. So, you know, it could be you get physical with it. Let's talk about something else. Actually, I was talking to Gregoire earlier, and I have this series.
Oh, it doesn't go down.
I have this series of tips du jour, which hopefully we may be able to watch at some point, or we could just talk about it. You know, even before I get there, this is not going to be a presentation. So either we got to talk or this is going to be really boring, all right? So the sooner you can ask me a question, the happier I'll be, and then we can all get out of here. So, yeah?
What's your technique for a very tight staccato?
Fast fingers. I mean, so, I was talking to Gregoire, and he reminded me of something. I had a thing where I'm holding, and then so, I mean, and it actually really works. I mean, this is maybe not the best sound to hear this on. Let's try something else here. Where am I? Okay. That's not it either. Okay. Boy, that's hot. Okay. So, I mean, although there's reverb on there, you know, you just got to get a little bit of that snap and maybe play less like this and a little more flat fingered. I mean, that's what I would do in general. We've got so much effects, it's hard to tell. Anyway, that's what I would do. And there's that. So thank you very much. Hi, Mom. Yeah, okay. More questions. I need more questions. I'm getting bored up here. Come on, give me some.
I had to stand up and look to see what pedals you had this going through.
Yeah.
I don't see a pedal board down there. I'm curious.
Pedal board. I just got an old-fashioned fuzz up here.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a Sovtek Big Muff. Ta-da.
It's a table board. That's why I couldn't find it.
Table board, pedal board. You get to look at it later. It's one of these. It's one of these. It's like air conditioner size. Okay. Are there any other questions, or should we look at some things? Oh, let's talk about this. And let me get up a different sound. This, what is 88? Let's try that. This is this new pedal that Ed was talking about. Now, I don't know, you've been noticing that I've been wearing this wrist thing because I broke a bone, so I have plausible deniability if I mess up. So be gentle, because I'm very sensitive. So, now the great thing about this is, well, there's a couple of great things. One is that it works. That's the first one.
This is
And
the
it-
fifth iteration, by the way.
You can say that again. So, down an octave, of course, up an octave. When they're both down, you are at normal. So, if you use one foot and you're pressing this down and then you slide over to both of them, you're in the middle octave, slide over a little bit that way, and you're up the octave. So, you have 3 octaves. Now, if you wanted to do it, say, from low directly to high, you're maybe going to need, you know, depending upon how fast your needs are, you may need to use both feet. But that is like the same as setting the internal for plus minus 2 octaves, right? But you could do that with your feet. So if you're doing something that's spread out and you want it to go all the way up, and you got both feet available depending upon how many feet you have. All right, I'm going to just go slow. What?
Is that a latch?
No, it's just off on.
So it's a standard,
No.
yeah?
I mean, I think he's saying, is it latch when you hit it?
It doesn't.
Oh, I thought he said, was I a lich? Okay.
No, it's a momentary switch. So you keep your feet on it, but it's very shallow. It's a standard Yamaha FC5 or whatever number it is, and it's a 3D printed box it's in, so it doesn't slide around.
Don't you mean, does it latch or you have to hold it down?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you keep
Yeah.
your feet on it, but it's
Hey, if you guys can't see back there, you know, get somewhere you can see because this is going to be some little tiny shit here. All right? Okay. So let's just say I'm just doing this or what? Right? One.
Rob, could you do it really slowly? Just hit a note, and then push down the left pedal.
I'm on the left pedal. Now I thought.
Let up. So you're back at the pitch. Now press the left pedal. Did he go down? Okay,
Yes.
so it doesn't latch.
No, it doesn't latch.
yeah, it's momentary.
No latch pa.
It's a standard FC5. It's a very standard Yamaha pedal.
Yes. So anyway, once again,
So, sorry, question. So why did you say press both to come normal? So if you leave that, it's going to be
Yeah.
normal, right?
well, that's. I don't know if I'm answering the right question, but I think you know the thing is, if you're going from the low octave, up an octave, up one more octave, you could do it with one foot by pressing both. See, I'll do this really slow. Okay, you can see my fingers here? Okay. You can't see my foot,
It's
but
an exclusive or type of thing. If they're both down, it's the same.
It's the same, yeah, and it's just more comfortable to keep them down. Otherwise, you have to lift your foot, which is not comfortable.
oops. Yeah. One quick thing with it. It's interesting with patterns. Like this one I discovered just if you're going, right? So if you think about it and where you switch the octave is weird. So you would go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the pattern is a repeating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, and then you're back at the top. That was unintelligible, wasn't it?
So it's more about the way you lean your foot?
The way you lean your foot. Yeah.
Side to side.
Yeah, but I mean, you can use 2 feet.
Instead of asking you 1,000 questions, let me try it.
No, you know. Yeah.
So, fundamentals.
Guys,
Yeah. Okay. We're over. Anyway. So, yeah.
If you keep to sustain one note,
Sorry?
if you keep to sustain just
Well, let's see. Let's go to the videotape, Bob. Yeah, so yeah, it just applies to what you're, yeah.
There are settings that you can change if you wanted to, but it's rare.
Yeah, okay, so this is the latest groovy thing. And it's pretty groovy. Lippold and Ed just had, had this, we were talking about this, and lo and behold, it's
Well,
amazing.
some of you may own one of the early, what do we call, tri-value pedals. And they were awfully loud for a long time. These are really made for this. Those were made for machine shops. And then we've gone through doing a whole 3D printed thing that was magnetic based. And then eventually after a bunch more iterations, this is nice and simple. Anybody can buy a Yamaha pedal. The little tray does not slide around at all because Ed found a good piece of rubber to put on the bottom of it. And, it's easy to do. So the thing with Rob is he likes to use 3 pedals at a time. So it's important that it can be operated with 1 foot, or you can operate it with 2 if you like.
So anyway, once again, substituting for going internally to +2 octaves. Skip the middle octave, or once again, both. Lean. Now that's pretty cool. And it's right there, you got to oil your hip every once in a while, but other than that, it's good. It's great. Yeah.
What's your best tip around intonation?
Be careful. No, really, one of the things this is not my typical playing setup, but I guess one of the main things for me is be able to see the end of your fingers. Where are your fingers? If you could see them. A lot of times people will play, like in piano kind of thing, and so the tips of their fingers, they're playing here. Oh, I could do that. Ooh, look. Ah! So they're playing here, right, but when you do that, you can't really necessarily see where they actually are. So, and the other thing about it, since we have such sensitivity, I like a lot of times playing with the soft part of your fingers because you don't really, if you need to be loud, just turn up the volume and play easy, That's one of the incredible things about it, is that world from silence to really soft. Being able to hold that. That is luxurious right there, So, and if you're curious about that, it seems to work best for me rather than just starting and pushing. I kind of drag down a little bit towards me. And that makes the entry a little easier somehow. I don't know why. I have other great ideas, but I forget what they are. Let me look. Any questions?
Just had a comment off of what you're saying, like maybe don't always go to your piano technique for things. There's different techniques. And to your question on staccato, and I've got a video on this called, examining and exploring the light touch continuum. You can look at it. But one thing I did is I wanted to do a trill on the same note, and where I was used to doing a piano trill, I actually turned my hand 90 degrees and just did this. Because it was so light and so easy to control, just doing that like you're drumming on your table.
I had a thing that was weird with going over, which I can't really do right now, but going over when you're, going down, I turned my elbow and just went straight that away, like it was like a piano roll, So, just trying everything, every which strange thing. I had another thing when I was doing that business, which is kind of cool, which is the kind of the dead drop. It's like if you pull your finger back and go, So it hits and is gone. You know, like if I was doing, it's really a drop, but with not enough pressure to keep going. So I mean, that actually worked. I was doing this Ravel piece called Four Lane. You know that one? And there's a part that goes. And so getting that little, you know, and it vanishes is pretty cool, I think. Yes?
Could you maybe talk a little bit about shaping specific gestures and or envelopes when you're playing?
Well, I could, but, you know, I mean, I think all of that really comes back to, you know, thinking as, you know, what, if I was singing this, how would I want it to be? You know, what is my personal vibrato? That's another thing of mine. Vibrato responsibly. It's very important. So just thinking about the singing thing and what you need to do with your, to make that happen. Let's just suggest a melody that I might know. That ain't gonna happen. That's, well, okay, Star Trek, great. So, okay, you could finger it like that, but a lot of times when I'm doing, you know, solo lines, being that I'm a theremin player, I'm kind of comfortable sliding around. And if I'm playing a melody with one finger, say, and I'm sliding, I like to reinforce it with the other fingers around. Sometimes all you need is one finger to do some of these things. Now it gets different. If you're using your pinky, I play on the side here and I use my thumb on it. And that makes your pinky a little more usable, and then you can have that full extension of the other fingers available. Conversely, side of the thumb, if I need to do that, maybe I'll put this finger on it. Whatever. And so I try reinforce fingers. So instead of, you know, actually, you got to figure out which notes you want to have pop. You know, how do you want to phrase it? Do you want it to go? Is that okay? Or do you want to go? So it's really, you know, what's your concept of what the phrase is, I suppose. And, you know, and it's, I've had things where you'd slide up to a note, say, and then you're going to, rather than just pushing in to do it again, to repeat it, is to substitute the fingering, you know. You know, it comes back to also organ fingerings. Do you want to use the sustain pedal to get from one place to another, or do you want to be substituting fingerings? You guys all know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about, right? No? Anybody? Nobody? Yeah. So, you know, let me just switch this up for a sec. Anybody got a good joke while I'm doing this or something? No? What? It's the new humor. It's not funny. So let's just say, what is this? Let's go back here. Say we're playing this Messiaen piece, and we get to this point. Now, right there, it goes from this chord to this chord. So do you want to use your fingerings? Because if you substitute, you know, your fingers so that you can go smoothly to the next chord. But it actually sounds cool if you crossfade using the pedal, you know, holding this chord. And you got that on the pedal, and it has this kind of psychedelic, really nice crossfade. So just choosing between organ fingerings or something versus, you know, crossfading with a pedal can be pretty psychedelic and cool, you know. Any questions, more questions? Come on,
Do I
man.
notice that you're using your thumb sparingly? Just for chords, or how do you know?
I use my thumb whenever I can. I'm all thumbs, you know. No, I use my thumbs as much as I can. It depends. I mean, if it's a sound that's going to change from here to there, clearly I'm going to be using my thumbs less because I'm going to want to stay in one region. Another interesting thing is just awareness of you have that space. If it's the same sound and you're doing some complicated things, is to break it up between the hands. So one of the hands is up here, one of the hands is down here, and you can see them both like what? So I start down there, but if I stay down here, I got all these things where all of a sudden I can't see my fingers. So consider, you know, how can I see my fingers? I'll pull it up here and put that up there. I mean, we can do that if it's the same sound, then it should work, right?
Is there any way to increase the number of pedals? Like, it's capped, two connections.
Take it.
Yeah, so because he's constantly asking for 3 pedals, if you're not using a CVC, then you'll be able to put the octave switching pedal into the jack, you know, the thing that normally has I2C, the CVC jack.
So this
on the sled.
this will be going into the CVC jack, so I'll have the other 2 pedals, right?
Yeah.
And the octave will work if you're not using the CVC. So we got that small jack, and then this, then we can still.
Yeah, only the octave pedal is because it's sort of overloading what that thing was made for. But that'll.
You know.
There's a bug in 1009 where it doesn't seem to work, but in the next version.
I gotta move. So while I'm moving some stuff, since I mean, I can stop now, or I can keep blabbing. We're over.
Stopping time, but we don't have anything till 7:30, so whatever everybody wants to do, keep going.
Yeah. Shit. Things are going so well too. Rounding volume Y. Oh, I can't do that here. Sounds to PPP slide. Oh, you know, there was something I was checking out with chord balance. Just say you're holding a chord, right? Now I might have problems with this because of my wrist. Now the tendency is if you want to make the chord even is to use finger pressure till it's even. But actually, if you change the posture of your entire hand, it's worth checking that out to even things out rather than just relying on, okay, I can't hear the G, I'll push more with the 3rd finger. But, you know, there is something that automatically goes on there. So that's worth, you know, checking out if you want to keep things smoothish. Hi, Mom. I think I killed the president. Okay. Yeah. Well, no battery, no cry. Economy of motion. I mean, it's a very sensitive instrument. I mean, let's say, you know, hardly moving fingers, just kind of going like that. So, you know, hardly, just little shit is, you know, just because it is that sensitive. You really hardly have to do anything. So just turn up the volume, save your hands, and play lighter.
Do you practice with each finger the volume control so you get more precision? Like, pressing down and back up just to get used to the amount of pressure and volume?
No.
Or is that not anything that you practice?
No. You know, usually my practice is my hair is on fire. I have to have this thing ready in 2 days. Holy mackerel, you know. That's more what my practice is like. Let me see what else. Non-moving chords. Anybody here new to this thing, by the way?
Yeah, there are some people here who've never played.
Okay. It brings up questions of things we've never had to deal with before in a most cool way. Like, you know, don't worry about that. That's cool. That's cool. You know. So, anyway, for instance, you know, you say you have a 4-note chord and you want to do 2 in this hand and 2 in that hand. Now, and you want to add vibrato. And your first thought is, well, I've never had to think about this. Do I vibrato with both hands going together, or do I go in the opposite direction? It turns out that going in the same direction is totally unnatural, and going in opposing directions that's what you want it to sound like, but who would have thought, you know? I mean, it's a fact. Did you ever try it? You know, it sounds like, you know, your DNA has unraveled, you know. But if you go in... Also, here's another thing. Sometimes we don't have to vibrato with everything, even though we want it to do that way. If the top notes are vibratoing and the bottom notes are solid, almost nobody's going to ever notice that they're not going with it, you know. So, you know, that's a shortcut that whatever shortcuts we can get, you know. Any questions? I'm just talking shit up here. What? Back there.
Just a quick comment on the vibrato too is one thing that can be really dramatic as well is the vibrato at different speeds in the left and right hands.
Sure, if that's what you want to do.
There's something that can be difficult to do with a different instrument.
Yeah, well, you know, yeah, it's something we've never had. Nobody's ever had to deal with these crazy things that are coming up that are so exploratory and cool, you know. I mean, this is the instrument of my dreams. I was, you know, everybody's talking history. So after I got out of jail, never mind. Sorry. I started out as a piano player when I was 3, and, you know, still that's kind of my main instrument. And then I said I played, you know, rock and roll guitar like everybody in high school, and, you know. And then, you know, other keyboards, but then I just, you know, went to the theremin because I wanted something that was expressive and, you know, you could phrase stuff and sing and, you know. But, you know, as theremin players, we lose harmony, our harmony that we treasured so much when we were playing piano. I mean, that luscious harmony is lost. And then I saw this thing, I went, out of my dreams, it was like Dr. Seuss had come into my dreams and made up this instrument, and it's, yeah.
Is that Richard Maynard? Is that where you first got signed?
That's where I first tried it. I think I probably saw him playing something, but he had the hard action running through a buchla, so I was a little afraid, you know, if I did my wiggly stuff that I was going to, you know, wind up in the hospital somewhere. But then the light touch came along, and it's great. You know, we're getting to the end here, right? Just quick before, yeah?
So how long did it take you to get comfortable in thinking of, you know, I'm mastering this?
It's an ongoing thing always, you know. I mean, I've gotten to a certain level with it that I feel pretty good, but so, you know, a lot of things that you're going to encounter that are still going to be stumbling blocks, and you just got to try and break through them. So it's going to be a continuing thing, like any real instrument. You know, you're going to, you know, I want to solo over giant steps. Well, that ain't going to happen, you know. So, you know, there are always these things, you know, and you just try and get better and keep at it, you know. So I got no real answer other than just how long does it take? How it takes however long it takes, you know. Okay, just really quick, and then I'm going to wrap up here. 4 different attacks. We already talked about curved finger, flat finger. What was the third one? Oh, yeah, there's the one where you're kind of pulling in towards you, like scratching. So you have, let's say, round finger is. Okay, so that's a little more classical piano, but a little bit more detached. If it's flat finger, maybe. Or pulling towards you. Maybe not so appropriate for that line, but it's, for that fast bang, think about the pulling thing. And the fourth one was really kind of weird, which was, did you ever see that movie Toy Story? Okay, remember when all the little weird things are in the game arcade, and they go, oh, the claw has come, has chosen you, and this thing goes down and picks them up, right? It's like this thing that goes on, so where your hand is sort of part of this thing, where you're not like really wiggling around and you're looking at the whole kind of shape as a thing that is, so I don't even know if it works for this, but. So I'm not really hitting it, but you get the idea. So those are 4 things to check out possibly if you're not sure what to. Hey, you know what? Actually, Ed, could you help me out with something here? And then I'm going to wrap up here. So just.
Find that string sound?
Yeah, you have that string sound we were talking about?
Do I?
Hair lip. So Ed was, sometimes, you're thinking about some crazy idea, and then you talk to somebody that can actually kind of make it. Do you know the theme from The Godfather, for example? That's so beautiful. Take more. Come on. Ah, Spugisi. Oh, that's so beautiful. It reminds me of my first love. Ah, play it again. Just play one more time.